protect cash, and then pass it on. Everybody say pass it on. That's the inheritance. So everybody got a core thing. Your core thing is how you create cash, your core hustle. Everybody got a core thing. Whether it's comedy, it's film, it's real estate, it's Airbnb, it's 9-to-5 employee. I don't job shame, be a 9-to-5 employee, that's cool. That's your core thing. But if we create cash only to blow money fast, only to spend it like it's our last, only to spend it and get it right back, we didn't begin to keep cash that can then be grown. Right? So we get into keeping cash, and I'll go to a lesson on that on credit, leverage, budget. We'll go through that in another lesson. Then we get into growing cash, that's the investments we make. Then from growing cash, we get into protecting cash. Protecting cash, we get into tax strategies. The money I'm making, how do I keep more of it? Because Uncle Sam and I'm trying to get it. Because the more that I can keep, grow, and protect, the more I can what? I can pass on. So it's literally a blueprint and a formula of building a legacy. It's not like shot in the dark. It's like literally do these things. And you get into estate planning, trust, there's layers to it, right? You say, like, we didn't get here overnight, we didn't get out overnight. But this is a simple formula for how you actually begin to create legacy and wealth. So, let me start on some tax strategies real quick. These are like 5 quick tax strategies that everybody should know just at the crib. Like it should be on your refrigerator with a magnet. Like these are the ones. So these tax strategies are for entrepreneurs or business owners, people that own LLCs, S Corp, C Corps, whatever. I'm an LLC guy. It's the easiest one to run, manage, it's the cheapest, and you get the most flexibility around tax time in the LLC, limited liability company, right? So here's the first tax rule, right? Shout out to my guy, Jeff Badu. He's at jbadu32 on Instagram. That's my tax strategist, my business partner. So one piece of game that we all can have is if you own your own home, right? You can't do it if you're leasing your home, but if you own your home, you can, if you own your home, you then can lease a piece of your home, a section of your home. You can lease a section of your home to your LLC for $1,000 a day, up to $1,000 a day times 14 days a year. Therefore, giving yourself $14,000 of tax write-offs, $14,000 tax write-offs instantly just by leasing a room of your home to your business for $14,000 a year. You write that $14,000 off. That's right there, instant savings. I'm gonna show you how those savings work too, because this was something new to me. So that's one. I'm not gonna erase this yet. Keep in mind this. I didn't understand till even my late 20s, because I was a dope boy. I was a drug dealer. I didn't pay taxes, so I didn't understand taxes. Right. As simple as it seems, but it's not that simple. I thought we wrote something off, that's the money the government gives you back or something. I thought it was like a wage earner, like, oh, wait for tax returns, I'm waiting to get some money back. I thought it was that. But what it is this. If you end up earning $100,000 a year, right? This is called, I'll write this down, this is your taxable income, right? The income you can be taxed on, your taxable income. Now, on this taxable income, there's a tax rate. You get a different amount of income you make. Whether you make $1 million a year, 10,000, 100,000, different tax rates. We're going to just call this a 25% tax rate. It may not be a tax rate. I think it's 24% actually. We'll just call it 25% tax rate. So this means if you made taxable income of $100,000 and your tax rate was 25%, that means the government you would owe them how much? $25,000. So you have to owe the IRS $25,000 at a 25% tax rate on $100,000. So, let's back it up real quick. If you use this one strategy and you deducted, remember, this is a tax deduction. So now you got $14,000 to reduce your tax rate. So now instead of making $100,000 a year, you use this strategy of leasing out to yourself, and now it's like you made $86,000 a year, $100,000 minus $14,000. So now you're being taxed. Now your tax bill is going to be 25% of $86,000 instead of 25% of $100,000. I don't know what this number is off the top. I know that 20% is 17,200. Was it 21.5? All right, she's at 21.5. We'll go with that. Queen, we got you. So now your tax bill is $21,500. So you just saved your family $3,500. You just kept, right? You said keep more cash, protect more cash. By this one tax strategy you just learned right now for free in person or on live, you just saved your family $3,500 and you made $100,000 last year. Use this strategy, take $14,000 off your $100,000. Now you're being taxed on $86 instead of $100, saving yourself $3,500. Free game, 3,500% ROI. All right, so keep that in mind. We're talking about tax deductions, but now that $3,500 is also 3.5% down on a $100,000 house. If you took that $3,500 savings, that cash you kept, you could go an FHA loan and put 3.5% down on a $100,000 crib and finance it. So the same money you're going to give to Uncle Sam, you just use to buy a whole asset, which brings you even more tax deductions. And we'll get to that in a second, right? So I gave you all one tax strategy. One of my second favorite tax strategies, you're gonna love this, because you travel a lot. One of my second favorite is that when you travel on business, every single vacation, it's the vacation strategy. And IG, if you guys are on late, those came in the room. This class is particularly about tax strategies that save us money and keep more in our pocket, and how we can flip that money into income-producing assets, real estate. All right? So every single vacation you go on, if on that vacation you carve out 15 to 30 minutes to talk about your business, and you take notes, you take minutes, you put notes. You could be on the beach, you could be in a conference room, you could be in a hotel room, you could be in the club. As long as you take notes and say at 9, at 11 a.m., 11 p.m., we got in the club. And in our section, we talked about our strategy for this year. What's our strategy going to be? We talked about hires. You talked about improving the business. And you marked who was there, who was at the meeting, what y'all talked about. And then when it was all done, at 1 a.m., we got turned up. As long as you have a board meeting on your vacation trip, one board meeting, your entire vacation is a tax write-off. Every excursion, every outing, every restaurant, and whoever you flew out to be there with you. You can write all of that off of your taxable income. So now that same scenario where you made $100,000 last year, it might be $1 million. But you don't win a 3-4 vacations, Miami, Louisiana, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Cali, wherever you go, Maui, whatever. That whole entire trip or all those trips, whatever you spent. So say you spent $30,000 on trips, which you're gonna do anyway. Now you can take that whole $30,000 from your taxable income, and now instead of getting taxed on $100,000, you get taxed on $70,000. So now if you get taxed on 25% of $70,000, you're saving even more money now for your last name, right? While you enjoyed yourself. So again, this is how we keep more cash. So this is the vacation tax strategy. And I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, but I partner with one. And I'm an expert at hiring experts. So I'm gonna leave you guys, I'm gonna get to my third tax strategy. And before I forget, my business partner, and he's a CPA, he goes by J Badu on Instagram, Badu, B-A-D, 32. And you also can get our future information on tax strategy, a consultation with him as CEO of mylastname.com. We'll leave that right there for y'all, just in case anybody wants to get any more info on tax strategies from an actual tax specialist, my business partner, who's giving me a lot of this game. Now, third tax strategy, vehicles. If you purchase any vehicle in 2023, SUV, any 2023 SUV, or vehicle that's 6,000 pounds or more, that vehicle, you can write off 80% of it. The whole price of the vehicle. You go buy a new truck for $100,000, you can write off 80% of it. It could be a used truck. It could be a truck from a previous year. You don't gotta be a 2023 vehicle, but you gotta buy it. If you buy it in 2023, you can write off the 80% of the SUV year one as a business expense. Now, in previous years, if you bought prior to 2023, you can write up to 100% of those vehicles. This is another way to still live the lifestyles I want to live, do the things we want to do. I want to get a new truck. Cool, get a new truck. But write off now. Doesn't mean you got to pay cash for the truck. So you might put only $3,000 down or $5,000 down for the SUV. But it's a $117,000 SUV. You still get 80% write-off of that whole $117,000. Although you only put $3,000 down. Again, those write-offs allow you to show you've made less income or deduct from your income, and then allow you to keep more money to go do other things, right? Another tax strategy, I'll put it right here, 4. The kids, our heirs, our children. Your children, any children 70 years old plus, they can play an active role in your LLC, in your business, as a helper, as an assistant, as a janitor, cleanup, whatever. And in those roles, you can write off up to $13,000 of their income. So you basically just take the money out of his pocket, put it in his pocket. So I'm paying my kid $13,000, still in the household. That's tax write-off for me, $13,000, but they don't want to pay taxes on the $13,000. So that $13,000 stay in our household tax-free. And now you go buy your own Jordans. Go buy your own video games. I was gonna buy it anyway, but now I ain't gotta be taxed on it from an income tax perspective. Now, any children you got that are less than 7 years old, like my Princess Kobe, 2 years old, those children can work with you as a model or actor or actress in your content. If you're doing social media content with your child, promoting your business, they get paid as talent in your business, up to the same $13,000 of deductions. Another way to keep more cash and protect more cash in our households, to pass more on for our last names. This is just simple stuff. This has been here. The tax code is like this big, this thick. And it was written for us to actually use it to pay less taxes and keep more wealth. You know why? The government wants more healthier entrepreneurs because we create the jobs. So they incentivize us with the tax code to pay less taxes so we can make more money to keep the economy stimulated. So people are like, oh, the tax code, Trump ain't paying taxes on the wealthy. It's all about the wealthy. It was designed for them, but also for the other people that read. It wasn't just for them, it was for whoever reads or hires an accountant. All right? So our 5th one, and then we'll get to our real estate lesson, is real estate. There's so many tax advantages in real estate. When you buy an investment property, right? So our 5th tax strategy, investment real estate. It could be a single family, it could be a condo, townhouse, don't matter. Or it could be a multifamily, right? You go buy a building, it could be a 2-unit building, or it could be a 30-unit building, does not matter. When you buy a real estate investment property, you're able to accelerate that depreciation. You can write up to 80% of the value of your real estate asset as well from your taxes. So that's including you putting a down payment down. So meaning, if, say you made $300,000 last year as a business owner, you're like, man, the IRS about to smack me. I'm like, I paid 90 grand on this. Now, you can go buy a building cash and write that off as an investment. or write the value of the building off, or you can even put a down payment on a building. So you can find a building that is, say, a $500,000 building, and you got to put 20% down. You got to put $100,000 down. Well, if the building's worth $500,000, the IRS will allow you to write off up to 80% of that building's value. So you can write off up to $400,000 of value. If I wrote off $400,000 from the $300,000 I earned this year, not only do I owe no taxes, I have what's called an actual loss of $100,000. In this loss, I can actually carry forward to 2024. Called a loss carry forward. So if you take heavy losses this year, but you make $1 million next year, oh, my losses from this year will carry forward to my $1 million this year. So now my $1 million next year, off the rip, is $900,000. Think about this. If you save $100,000, you're $1 million earner, and you save $100,000, but the IRS tax rate is 30%, you are going to pay $300,000 on $1 million in taxes. Off the rip, $300,000. But now, if you reduce your taxable income to $900,000, you pay the same 30%, it's now $270. You just saved your family 30 grand right there. It's the whole car. It's the whole college tuition. All by carrying forward the loss of an asset you own that also brought your rental income and appreciation. This is where it gets good, family. Real estate has so many measures of economic benefit for us once you understand how to play this game. Because you can pick and choose how much losses you want to take too. Like, you know what? Nah, I don't want the losses. I want to look good on paper this year. I want to earn more income. You can pick and choose when you want to take your losses or when you want to carry them forward. And you do that as the family CEO. What's the CEO? But it's also the leader and visionary of an organization. We are our family CEOs. We're the leader and visionary for the family. We try to figure out how we get there because most of our folks don't know how to get there. We're the first generations really that really know what's going on because it's information age. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna open up real quick. I know I covered a lot. I know I talked fast. Are there any questions about what we covered so far? Yes, sir.
So when you mentioned buying an SUV, is it do you have to buy it under an LLC, under the business name, or can you buy it under your name with your LLC?
You can buy it under your name, long as the use is for your business. Now, I encourage when you can to buy under your LLC or get your title under your LLC. I've done it before, right? That's cool when you can, but when you can't because of financing or whatever it might be, you can buy it under your name and still get the write-offs. Great question. And my guy, Jay Badu here, can also help you guys out again. He does consultations and he'll go over your personal situation with you in regards to not just tax preparation like H&R Block, but actual tax strategy. How do we save you more money? How do we make you more money? That's CEO of mylastname.com. Yes, ma'am.
I've been having a house in Alaska since 2010.
In Alaska?
Yeah, I
I
was
didn't get
stationed
that.
up there
Okay.
for 7 years.
All right.
But H&R Block will only give me $10,000 of depreciation every year on that house. So I'm like, you just named something else, and it's a $250,000 house. I don't get it.
All right. I'm going to help you. Have you ever been to Golden Corral? Okay. Have you ever been to Roofers?
Never heard of that.
Roofers, or have you ever been to, what's the equivalent? Have you ever been to a high-end steakhouse?
Yes.
Where?
Well,
Okay. Right.
Bourbon House Restaurant.
Okay, there you go. You notice the difference between day steaks and Golden Corral steaks? Which one was better?
the bourbon.
Right. H&R Block? It's like Golden Corral.
Oh, yes.
When it comes to your advisors and who's advising your business and your tax strategies, you get what you pay for. So H&R Block They just running you through a mill. They just want to get you, okay, all right, we got you something, get out of here. But a true tax strategist is going to sit back and say, well, maybe we can accelerate your depreciation because that'll actually do better for you this year because you made so much. We can accelerate the future years to this year. Or maybe we can write off your interest you're paying on your mortgage or whatever that might be, but it's just really getting better professionals around you.
Sure.
And being an expert at hiring experts. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think our issue is, like you said, how you can play with the numbers. Some years
See if they have a question too.
some years we want to go this way, and some years we want to go that way. But I do it so much to where it messes up what he's doing with real estate. I don't know if I said that right.
I hear you.
So that's like I need help with that because I understand everything you just said. I'm hoping he
Paper,
understands.
we don't make money.
Yeah, so
No.
how do we do that? Because you
Like
said
loans and
FHA 3%, like that's not a problem, but when we start talking about paper and then having to do the self-employed and all this other stuff, like we can show that, but when they ask for tax returns and stuff like that, I don't did, play with so many numbers that it just is not
Correct.
lining up and it looks crazy.
Yeah, no, most entrepreneurs make the mistake of too many write-offs. They get too write-off happy,
Yeah.
right? So there's two things that you can do. And again, a lot of this comes down to that what I call building your family office, like building out the experts that are helping you see a chessboard. Because you only move at the capacity of what you know.
I'm undercounted.
Right. And we know there's also expertise in accounting, right?
Mhm.
And people have different, I got you, hold that question, right? So, what you said?
I'm gonna definitely get up with him.
Yes. So part of that strategy is one, understanding what his real estate goals are, or what your family real estate goals are, what you guys want to do, what you want to acquire. And I make sure that my taxable income, my paperwork, line up with what I know the underwriting guidelines are and what I got to show. That's one part of it. Another part of it is, I know too that I can make up for that with losses from other years or from future years that I can then offset some of the gains that I may have to take. So like there was a year where I owed a couple $100,000 in taxes, but I have so many losses from carry forward from other years. So I still sold, I made all the money on paper, but my other losses wiped away my actual bill. That's it. So you still make the money on paper so you get approved for loans and all of that, but then you use your depreciation to wipe away the tax bill. So it's not all write-offs, some of it are carryovers, right? So that's exactly what we're gonna get into. We had an IG question, go ahead.
So, two questions from IV. The first one is, what is the second step? I believe that's referring to 5 steps you wrote.
Oh, keep cash? Oh, or was tax strategy? So tax strategy, we talked about, who took notes?
Vacation, right off.
Vacation was the second step?
These two rooms first,
Right.
vacation second, write off of the vehicle third, and then
Kids.
kids fourth.
And now real estate, correct. So our first tax strategy was leasing out your home to your business. That's called the Augusta rule. Second was our vacation strategy. Third, our kids or family strategy. Fourth was our vehicle strategy. And now it's about real estate, which will be the biggest one.
Perfect. Okay.
You get another one?
Second question, I work as a W-2 employee, accepting life insurance, etc. Can I write off meeting clients, taking them out to lunch, and working from home?
If, as a W-2, I believe no. I would ask the tax professional. But I would also petition you to talk to your employer about making you a 1099 contractor. If you're meeting with clients, you're creating your own business, I don't know if you're paid a salary or commission, but I would fight to be a 1099 contractor so I could take advantage of these different, right, deductions. And now you control your own destiny. You can play with your paperwork based on your own preference. So let's talk about real estate, right? Go ahead. You good? All right. You know, you swipe up to see that. Cool. So All right, now we've learned some ways we can just save a little bit more money. And now I want to talk about, erase this board, so everybody have a note here. I want to talk about the 3 I's of real estate investing. Right? Income producing real estate investing.
Okay, you got a couple more quick questions.
Go for it.
All right, if I had an SUV for 10 years now, can I still write off my SUV?
Yes, that's a great question. If you had a vehicle of previous years that you never used for a write-off yet, you could use that write-off now or towards future years,
Up to 80%.
up to 80%. And if it was actually purchased before 2023, you might be able to get up to 100% of that write-off. So if that vehicle is valued at whatever, you can write that off your income too from previous years. Go ahead.
All right, are mortgage loan originators 1099 employees?
It depends on your contract with your loan or bank or loan company. I was when I was an originator, and most originators are, but there are some banks or lenders that pay salary to their originators. So that's your. Go ahead, Queen.
I got a question. Okay, I started a nonprofit to house homeless veterans. I'm in the process of about to buy a few tiny houses. So I know I can't claim that under the nonprofit, but for my personal taxes, because I'm using my own personal money, can I write that off when I buy the houses?
Can you buy what else? Your new investments?
Right, those houses that I'm buying. They're like 10,000 each, but I gotta fix the insides up and everything.
Yeah, you should be able to. So let's talk about that, right? So and don't let me forget either. I'm gonna catch up to that. So I want to give you guys real estate specific opportunities, but let's talk about making more money in real estate. So the 3 I's of real estate investing aren't really like your natural eyes, but they're really like the letter I's. But this is how you can see the investing industry in a different light. So one way you make money through real estate investing, right? So we're talking about, let's talk about 2 kinds of income producing real estate assets. You have what's called residential real estate assets, right? Or residential investment properties. A residential real estate investment property is a real estate property that is 1 to 4 units. That means it could be condo, townhouse, a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Right? Now, there's a little caveat, there's something called residential mixed use, where you can actually have a store attached as well. So if you have a multifamily with a store attached, it's called residential mixed use. But you can have anything from a 2 to 4 unit or property as a residential investment property. Now, the next, right, those are doors. The next is commercial. The commercial investment property is anything that is 5+ units or more. That's considered commercial real estate properties. We're talking about income producing properties, right? You came out there, fix whatever you gotta fix, but in the meanwhile, get a water too, please. There's one in my office fridge if you can't find one. So, you got 1 to 4 residential, 5+ commercial. These are how we get income producing properties and get more assets. Bet. So, there's 3 ways, there's 3 I's to how you actually can benefit off income producing real estate. And before I get to the I's, can you all tell me, besides rental income or cash flow, what we call residual income, passive income, what are some other reasons why we invest in real estate?
Safe investment usually?
Huh?
It's a safe investment usually?
It's a safe investment, or it could be. It's a collateralized investment. You can physically touch it, you can see it. Yeah.
Real estate ain't going nowhere, I think, so I would be somewhere, but I am, so.
It's time tested.
Land always increase in value over time.
Appreciation is always a open value over time. It's going to appreciate. Supply and demand. We living longer out here.
Yep.
Half of us vegan, we healthier, we taking pills now. And people living longer out here.
See malls.
So you get more people with the same amount of land that started back in Jesus' days. Like it's the same amount of land,
Yeah.
but we got all these more people. So supply and demand is always open value. right? It's a safe investment from the perspective that you know it's collateralized. You can see it, you can touch it. Also, you get the mineral rights of the real estate. So you own the ground around it, the gas, the oil, the diamonds, the dirt, agriculture, bananas, the peach trees. We got 10 peach trees on our lawn right there. We got blueberry bushes, blackberries, that's us. We done grew yellow meat watermelons out there, like all that is mineral rights. And you get the air rights above the real estate, the right to build up. You own the air rights above your commercial units and your residential units. You own the air. So all this is why we like investing in real estate, plus the tax advantages. So since we have talked about taxes today, here's some of the tax advantages of real estate. When you get a mortgage loan, the interest on your mortgage loan is tax deductible. So that whole mortgage payment, anything that's not towards your principal balance, that bank interest fee they charge, all that's tax deductible. Majority of your closing costs is tax deductible. Your points, your fees, those closing costs, tax deductible. You can depreciate the whole value of the asset. The value, what it's worth, you can depreciate. I ain't gonna say nothing. I got all these huge alkaline, big bottled waters in the office. There's like 4 or 5 of them in my fridge. There's one of these.
You said get the one, right?
But don't say nothing.
I ain't saying no.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't heard from me.
I know I'm about to go get some water for myself.
All right. The closing costs, depreciation. Oh, maintenance, improvements. Are you gonna fix your property up or ongoing maintenance of tenants? Any units that you do maintenance on, all that maintenance or rehab or renovations is also tax deductible, right? Any fees you pay your property managers, landscapers, all those things, tax deductible. So all that we get to write off from our real estate, right? While we still get the income and the appreciation, which creates future equity, right? Cool. So the 3 I's of the real estate business, I was thinking like, how do we come across and how do we deal with, how can we treat real estate investments? There's 3 ways you're gonna see, I's, you're gonna see real estate investments. One is, or real estate investing income. One is, you're gonna inherit it. When you buy a duplex or a commercial property, let's just say for the purposes of simplicity, you just buy a simple 2-family home, that's it. You live in one unit, rent the other one out, or you rent both out and you live in a high rise somewhere. But when you buy a 2-family home or a rental property, if it's already renovated, if there's already tenants, if there's already property management or whatever kind of management system in place, what you are doing is you are inheriting income. You're just buying cash flow. Like, I'll put this much down, I'm gonna get this building, but I know I'm getting this back. I'm just moving money out of my bank here, so it will come back to me. You're inheriting income, right? So that's one. The next way you make money off these assets is by improving the asset. The second I. That's you finding something that's a bando, you finding something that needs some work, you finding something that, right, that, whatever that looks like, and you're making improvements to it, what we call in the industry value add real estate. Real estate you can make value adds to. Let me give
I love it.
y'all ain't know what's going on right now. It's an inside joke, shouldn't have been here. It's all good. Lottie-dottie. Need a sponsorship deal with the joint.
Might have been the Whole Foods store, huh?
Look, there's a difference. When a lecturer saying I need a water, there's a difference. He's learning. When these Gen Zers, man, I'll tell you, millennial looking. Thank you, I appreciate you. Doing double duties. So value add real estate is like this. Here's some game. It's not just putting paint or new siding or doing a new bathroom on the property, right? That's all renovation improvements. But when it comes to commercial especially, or multifamily apartments, value add is, I can get more income if I add pet fees. I can get more income if I have a parking fee or garage fee. I can get more income if I just increase the rents by $50. I can get more income if I add an amenity section, right? So what can I do to add value to the asset where it pays me back more money because I added more value to it, right? So we have value added in or improving the asset. And then a third way is, third way you see real estate is innovating the asset. Innovating the asset is like, you know what, I go buy a 2-family home, but just 3 bedrooms in each unit. I got 6 bedrooms. So you know what, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna hit up local Atlanta Housing Authority and see what their veterans program's talking about. Oh, y'all pay $600 a week for veterans for a bed to have a room? Oh, I got 6 rooms. So instead of getting $1,000 a month from just 2 units, I'm gonna get $600 a week for 3 beds. That's $1,800 a week times 4, times 2 units. Or I'm gonna Airbnb it out. Or I'm gonna do it for traveling nurses. Or I'm gonna do it as a rooming house for student housing. Right? Looking at it in a different kind of way than a normal eyes look at it. We all seen the same 2-family, I just seen it different. Or I bought it and it's a shell and I got it for $40,000, and instead of putting $130,000 or $200,000 in work, I almost put say $10,000. I'm gonna just knock the whole thing down and clear the lot. And now build something totally new on that raw land. We call this, those sticker notes in real estate, these are high level terms. Value add, when you innovate, we call that highest and best use. Is when you see a piece of property, like this building we're sitting in, this is an electric company. Like how y'all walked in with the glass in the conference room and all of that, that wasn't there. Everything was tan, it was brown, it was ugly, it was clunky, it was like offices. We opened the whole thing up and made it this events venue and cultural center. So you can look at any piece of land, property, building, and be like, man, what's the best use for this building? Is it a farm? Is it a hotel? Is it student housing? Whatever it is, that's innovating real estate, looking at the best use of it. All right? So those are the 3 eyes of how we see real estate income. And now I want to tell you how you start to evaluate a particular income producing deal. So, where you at? How you know? There we go. All right. So any questions on that part before we carry on? Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I missed inherent income.
Okay. Inherent income is you buying a property that's already producing revenue, it's already have tenants, you don't got to re-tenant it, you don't got to kick nobody out, it's already producing, and you're just inheriting the bag. You're buying it and it's coming right away. Yes, sir.
So you spoke on the 3 types of real estate, and I know it's family, commercial, and it's the third one, industrial, or did you speak on it and I missed it?
So there's multiple types of real estate. We talked about residential mixed use, and commercial.
Oh, so that you did talk about the 3.
Yeah.
So when you added that little store, that became residential mixed use.
Yes, I didn't write mixed use on the board, but yes, that was mixed use.
Why you didn't speak on industrial?
Because I can speak on industrial, I can speak on agricultural, I can speak on so many different other classes, but they still all fall under generally commercial, right? Typically,
Yeah.
It's residential and commercial. Under commercial, there's commercial hospitality, there's commercial warehouse, industrial, there's commercial agricultural.
Yeah.
But in banking and financing, it's 2. Is it a residential loan or is it a commercial loan?
Yeah.
Now, under commercial, it's everything that ain't residential. So that's why I didn't speak to industrial.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I love it. Go ahead, Brent.
Okay, as a landlord, should I have had a LLC to write all this stuff off, or I could have wrote it off without that?
You can write it off without LLC as a landlord.
Mm.
Because you're still receiving rental income or investment income. So you're looked at by the IRS as a business owner. It's just you're kind of running as a sole proprietor.
Yeah, because I asked him to have the, I do have an office in my house in our H&R Block, like, no, you don't. And just kept on going.
For everybody who came on late, and reminder for Queen, here's everybody's new tax strategist. He's on Instagram at jbadu32, and you can get him a consultation. You can book it. CEO of mylastname.com. We all need somebody to look at our situation and tell us what's the best way to make our moves, make our plays. At the end of the day, when your car breaks down, I don't go to my barber. I go to my mechanic. When I need a little tape fade, I ain't going to the plumber. I'm going to Boney at J Studios in Buckhead. So go to your experts that help you, right? Not miss out on opportunities. Go ahead, King Dom.
2 ID questions. Someone just wanted you to repeat who or what was that called for the veterans for 600 per bed? Who would you call? What strategy you had?
Yeah, so believe it or not, there's so much money at the housing authorities. I think in Atlanta right now, they have a backlog of like 3,000 plus people right now that need housing. Like tenants. Like already tenants need housing, from veterans to seniors to Section 8, single moms, all that. And there's a renewal of like 40,000 vouchers every year active. And there's like a waiting list of like another 12,000 or something crazy number. So when you're buying investment income real estate, don't be scared. A lot of people run away from Section 8 or run away from vouchers when you just think of the bad Section 8, the bad tenants. But there's good, wholesome people who just got a voucher. You're allowed to interview your tenants when you go to housing authority. You don't have to accept whoever they give you. You can interview the tenant and be like, "No, I don't want you and your badass kids." Like, no, not yours. But somebody else, like, you know what, y'all working hard. I see y'all got class. Like, you just gonna hit a hard time. Like, come on. So always hit up your housing authority as one source of tenant pipeline for your investment real estate.
Okay. Best way to get into a second loan after you have already used your FHA?
Oh man, just run back to a different bank, get a conventional loan. That's it. Get a conventional loan.
Only one.
Or a non-FHA loan, huh?
Said you can only use the FHA one.
No, you can do it multiple times, but just once as a primary resident, like one at a time, if you will. But you can use it again in life. Yeah. So, okay, where was I at? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so investing, inheriting income, making money. Okay, so here's how, a couple ways you can work backwards in finding like what kind of rental units or what kind of real estate is it that I actually want. A lot of people leave me that question, kind of like, all right, bro, like I know I want to get into real estate, but where do I start? Right? And there's multiple ways to start, from home ownership to wholesaling to income producing to flipping, right? So that they're all their own classes, if you will. Flipping is good for lump sum money, but flipping, you gotta keep doing over and over and over again to ever have an asset, right? It's not predictable. Home ownership is great, and I knock, and I rebuke, and I refute every guru, every leader, every teacher, even ones I love. I just debate with them, who tell you don't buy a single family home. Never buy a single family home. I agree with them that a multi-family home, it gives you more leverage because you have more income than just your own. To buy a 2-family or 3-family, God bless you, gives you more leverage, and I agree, buy a multi-family when you can. It is a sound investment strategy. I agree, I submit. But to tell anyone to not buy a home and to buy your own home, a single family home, it's stupid or a waste of time or it's whatever, you're all wrong. You're all liars. And I say that because my family made $93,000 on the first home that we ever bought in the hood that I tracked out of. My wife and I didn't get $250,000 off a single family home that we lived in an upmarket. You can't tell a man that's made 6 figures multiple times off his living in a home that buying a home is stupid. When buying a home, we all gotta live somewhere anyway. So I'm gonna rent. I might as well put that money back to me. And when you leave from renting, you lucky to leave with your security deposit. When you leave from homeowning, you have an opportunity to inherit equity and appreciation, plus the tax advantages. So again, a multifamily is strong. It could even, I would even venture to say more was preferred, but there's no shame and nothing wrong, if you will, with still buying a single family home when you can buy one, right? But today I want to talk about income producing assets. So there's 2 things I do. I think there's 2 things you all should know before we leave here in regards to how to look at rental properties or income producing assets. There's 2 things you want to do. One, you're looking at the straight cash flow. And 2, you're looking at ROI, return on investment. 2 different things. 2 different things. Cash flow is like this. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all, because y'all my students today. I tell my clients, my students, people I coach and advise. Everyone should have what I call a survive target. This is financially. You should have a survive goal. How much money, bare bones, do I need just to make it out here? Like, bare bones. Everyone should know what their monthly is for you, IGs, for you guys in the rooms, for you, YouTube. Everyone should know what's my monthly amount of money that I gotta make to survive in life. And then I multiply that times 12 and I get my annual, right? So if I know, like with my bare rent, if I eat peanut butter and jelly and oodles and noodles, like my bare, I need $3,000 a month to live. Then I know from a savings perspective, or what we call even for savings, a financial freedom perspective, I know that the real estate that I buy, one of my first goals is to get enough doors, enough rental income, enough tenants, enough beds that I can survive off that. That's the first step to financial freedom. Is can my passive assets, my passive income, can produce me enough passive or residual income, where I can survive monthly without doing whatever I gotta do in my day job. That's step 1. Then we all have a thrive goal. That thrive goal is like, what does a comfortable life look like for me though? Like the vacations I want to take, nice car, wifey's good, kids good, I go out and steak when I want. What's my thrive goal? All right, I gotta make $10,000 a month. And I'm cool. $10K a month, bro, I'm cool. All right, it's me annually. Then, so for instance, if your thrive goal was $10,000 a month, and the average net rental income, meaning like how much goes in your pocket, average net rental income you can get from a unit was $353, right? Just say to your pocket. I'll call it $500 to your pocket. You would need 20 units, get you $500 a month to meet your thrive goal. So that 20 units could be 20 units and you go buy a 20 unit building. Or that 20 unit could be you went and got 10 duplexes. Or 5 4-families. If you got 5 4-unit properties, and each door bought you $500 a month, you now met your thrive goal. Not to mention the tax advantages from all 5 units, interest deduction, depreciation, all that, and you get future equity and appreciation from all those units. All units go up in value. That's future equity you can tap into for a refinance, pull that equity out tax-free, and go buy more units. Right? Let me get Thrive Goal. So that's another one. And then we work our way up to what we call our dream life. That's like past driving. That's like, look, I want to have my driver, my butler, my maid, my 2 houses, my 6 cars, my dream life. And my dream life is $30,000 a month or $360 a year. How many doors do I need in order to meet that cash flow to have that level of financial freedom of my dream life? So right now what I'm showing you all is just, again, targeting. This is right, if I were to title this part of the lecture, I would say it's called Picking Your Investment Strategy or Your Investment Thesis. Is know what you want. Do you want something that's going to bring in a couple of dollars for your survival or start chipping away at that? Right? Do you want cash flow or ROI is different? What do you say about ROI? So there's 2 kind of investment strategies. There's a cash flow investment strategy and there's an ROI investment strategy. So cash flow is all about meeting your needs from a dollar per dollar perspective, all right? So cash flow is all about meeting your needs dollar for dollar. Rental income into your pockets. Now, ROI is a little different. It's a little trickier. ROI is based off the opportunity cost of money. All right? Everybody said opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost.
Okay. What is the opportunity cost of money? What is that? I got $10,000. What's my opportunity cost? Anybody know?
$100,000.
Or $100,000. Or I got a cool meal ticket. Opportunity cost is this. Opportunity cost is what's the next best thing I could do with my money. This is opportunity cost of time. Y'all all could have been doing something else right now. But you ask yourself between 7 and 9, what's the best thing I could be doing right now in my life? $10,000. Listen, don't laugh at my Nike box. We can put $10,000 in a shoebox. It's gonna earn you how much?
It's gonna earn you nothing. It's just gonna be what it is.
0%. Matter of fact, it's gonna lose 7.5% because inflation is 7.5%. 10,000 sitting under your mattress in the shoebox, savings deposit box is losing $750 every year, 7.5%. Or it can go into a bank CD or a bank account that's giving you 0.001% in your checking account. Why should it be a bank? How much money earning in your checking account? 0.001%. You get 10 cents on 10,000 in a whole year. You get $1 on 100,000 a whole year. Right? So that's opportunity cost. And then you go into real estate, stocks, other assets, right? So why am I showing you this? This is people that have excess capital, right? You're doing good, you're making money, or cash flow, dollar for dollar, isn't your main thing, but you want to invest because you want to beat the bank. Your money is sitting places where it's not getting the best opportunity cost for itself. You're looking at your bank account like, man, I got 70 sitting there, like, I ain't doing nothing. So now we look at the ROI of real estate investments, and what we say is simply like this. I want to give you a practical example. So you have your duplex. Let's say in your duplex, you purchased it for, say you purchased $300,000, right? For a new 2-family to inherit some income. And in that 2-family for $300,000, you are getting $2,000 a month from each unit. There are 3 bedrooms, it's nice, you got granite countertops. So you're getting $4,000 per month, right, for both units, times 12 months is $48,000. $48,000 a year, right, for both units. But you gotta pay property manager, you got maintenance, you may have a mortgage, you got taxes, you have insurance, right? So let's say after your mortgage, after your tax, after your insurance. So to buy this $300,000 property, you have to put 60 grand down, right? You were an investor, you put 20% down, you went the old fashioned route, I put 20% down to the best rate, right? Now mind you, it can be 10% down, it can be 5% down, different rates. Let's just call it 20%, you put 60,000 down, right? Out of your bank account, or out of your 401k, out of your IRA. That 60,000 is what we'll be judging our ROI on. Because that 60,000 was sitting in your checking account, your savings account, your 401k. It was somewhere, earning something, your mattress, shoebox, under your mattress. Or if it was 10% or 5%, it'd be 15,000. My point is, we all have money at some point sitting somewhere, and we gotta ask ourselves, what's the next best place to park our money? Why we love real estate is not only does it give us cash flow or ROI, all other reasons we mentioned earlier, the power, the control, collateral, air rights, mineral rights, tax, depreciation, all that. So you get all of that from real estate. You don't get in stocks, crypto, nowhere else. So let's say either 5%, 15,000, or 20%, 60,000. Either way, there's cash you parked just an investment. This investment is making you 48,000 a year, but let's say after your mortgage, after your insurance, after your taxes, you make about 30% of this as net profit to the bank. So what you make in total is your gross profit. What you make in your pockets to keep, like a net, you keep what's in the net, that's your net profit. So, the 30%, I'm not got my accountant here, 14,400? No?
7,000.
7,400? Okay. Yeah, what's up? No. No. 14,400. 48,000 times 30%? 10% of 48,000, 4,800. 4,800 3 times. 14,400. I got it.
We just listen.
I'm off today. So listen, if our net profit was 14,400 a month, can somebody in your phone real quick divide that by 12? I want you what the monthly income is. Come on, talk about ROI. It's not cash flow. Somebody real quick, 14,400 divided by 12.
1,200.
What you got?
1,200.
1,200?
You said 14,400, right?
Yeah, 14,400 divided by 12. 1,200 a month? Cool. So if we were to make, out of this 4,000 a month, right, 2,000 per door, we would end up net profiting 1,200 a month of cash flow, or 1,200 a month, right, of cash to ourselves. So, or 14,400 a year. Remember, we either invested 5% down or 15,000 for this property, or we put 20% down, 60 grand out of our, wherever that money came from. We're gonna stick with the 60 right now. So we just showed our money's not earning nothing in the shoebox, nothing in the bank practically, right? And we have other investments that may earn whatever it earns. So ROI is this formula. You take your net profit and you divide that net profit by the amount you invested, divided by your investment. And you multiply that times 100, it'll give you the percent of ROI. So, our net profit, we just said, after our expenses, 48,000 was our gross profit, minus 30% of that, called 70% expenses, or 30% profit, is 14,400. So, if our net profit is 14,400, net profit divided by our investment. Our investment was 60,000, right? So 14,400 divided by 60,000 times 100 equals what?
24%.
24%? Anybody second that?
Something like that.
You ain't got to guess. Put in the calculator. 14,400 divided by 60,000. It's going to give you a decimal times 100.
24.
24%. I'm going to slow it down. I know I did a lot of fast talking, a lot of math. I'm going to make it very, very plain for everybody. All I'm showing you is what's called your cash on cash return on investment. If I got 60 grand, 60 bang, 60,000, wherever it's at, and I look at a particular investment, I'm looking at what does that investment bring me back after I pay everything. After I pay mortgage, after I pay taxes, insurance, property manager, because I don't want to manage it, I'm busy. After everything, what is the net that comes in my pocket? I'm going to divide that net number to my pocket annually by the amount that I invested times 100, and it's going to give me a percentage of what my return is. Why that's so important is I'm going to compare this return to whatever else the money's at, or whatever else it could be. That's going to answer my question to, Jay, is it a good investment? Is it a good investment? Because if you're making 44% return on your money, 24% ain't a good investment. But if your money's making you 6% or 12% or 3%, this might be your play. So this is how everyone can decide whether an investment property is actually suitable for them, is look at how much you got to invest. Well, bro, I only got 7 grand. You talking about 60,000, 7 grand to invest. Cool, you got your 7 grand. How much is it earning you right now, ROI, annually, every year? Okay, when you look at your duplex or your townhome or your student housing or whatever kind of real estate you want to get into, you want to look at how much on that same 70,000 will that real estate bring me back net to my pocket. And I'm going to compare that rate to what it's currently doing. If it comes close to that or beats that, plus the fact it gives me tax advantages, plus I can own and touch it and see it, plus if COVID comes or all hell breaks loose, I got somewhere to run and hide. If it gives me all that and a percentage is better than what my money's currently doing, I might be in. And that's how you literally make up for yourself a decision of what's a good real estate investment. Is find out how much what the tenant's paying you, it pays per month, times 12, how much they pay per year, subtract, usually 50% is the expenses. I put 70%, include 20% for a mortgage payment, but 30% profit on my monthly or annual income, and now I'm gonna find ROI off of that. Does that make sense, y'all? So this is just the fundamentals of being able to look at, be on Zillow, playing around, or somebody sent you a house, a friend sent you a house, and now you're trying to figure out, how do I know if it's for me? Look at your money, where it's at, and it's a better opportunity. This is the foundation. So now, when we have our income tax savings, and you're able to take a strategy like this, and I'm open up for questions and we are. So now let's say you're in a position where, let's call it $150,000 taxable income, right? And let's say you have to pay the IRS 30% of this. So you're like, man, I'm about to lose $45,000 just in taxes. But you run the play. You got 2 kids. So cool, you run a kid play. Minus 13,000, both your kids is models for your business. So now you got minus 13,000 twice for your tax write-offs. Oh yeah, that vacation I did the board meeting play in the vacation. That vacation was 7,000. Then we went to the club, we went out, went on an excursion, did the jet skis. All right, you got another 7,000 for the vacation. Oh, I forgot. I had this girl I'm dating. I had her come check me out. I don't know $2,000 to put her on. All right, another $2,000 on a vacation play. Oh, but did that car I bought, that SUV I got for 70, I could write off 80% of that. 70,000 times 80%, 56,000. Now you got that right off. Oh, but you know what? I also lease my business lease my house out to my business for 14 days out of the year for $1,000 a day. Minus another 14,000. So now the IRS was going to tax you on 150, and you will pay $45,000 to the IRS that your family is going to lose and never see again. But now, before the IRS taxes you, we're going to write off taxes based on the strategies we talked about today. So we got 26,000 from the kids, plus 7 is 33,000, plus 2 is 35, plus 50 is 85, plus 6 is 91, plus 10 is 101, plus another 4 is 105. So this is 105,000 tax write-offs right here. Of the strategies you just learned today. So now you're gonna take 105,000 of tax write-offs minus the 150. So now you have $45,000 of taxable income. And now your tax rate went from 30% to like 20%. So now your tax rate goes down as your income goes down. So now you ain't paying 30% tax rate, you ain't paying 20% tax rate or somewhere in there. So now you pay 20% on this, which is $9,000. So you went from $45,000 tax bill to a $9,000 tax bill. Therefore, saving yourself saving your family $36,000. Back to our last lesson. Now, what do you do with your $36,000 of savings you were going to blow away to the IRS? Now you go slide and go buy some doors. So you say, you know what, I could put 20% down on a $150,000 house. Or I go buy a little house in Detroit, cash. Or I could get up with 2 other people, we all put in 30, and now we got 90 to put down as 20% down on a $450,000 6-unit. My whole point is you think it's opportunity cost and you will run the play. You either inherit the income, you approve to make more income, or you innovate the income. But now we give you savings to go make those moves with. And that's the opportunity. You create more tax savings because you're going to get the whole same anyway. But now we know what to do better with the money and just go buy more bags. Or if we go on vacation with this money, we know we can write out the vacation for a carry forward for the next year. And you start keeping more wealth and protecting more wealth for your family. All right? So, I'm gonna open up for Q&A. But this is the summation and the point I want to draw for you all of how to execute and know these tax strategies, but then how to leverage them to create more income producing properties. Boom, boom. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Prefer buying houses cash or getting a bank loan?
She asked if her buying houses cash or getting a bank loan. I've done both, I do both, I like both depending on the market, depending on the property, depending on where I'm at in life. If I got more cash sitting around, I like the opportunity cost. I don't want to sit in the bank doing 2%, so I like to put it to use. If I get more leverage, cool. It just depends, again, where I'm at. Yes, I do want to give you guys, if any of you all want to tap into our real estate coaching, our real estate training, our community where we actually do this, we have whole lectures, we offer financing partners and our whole real estate roadmap system. The website for that is pretty long, but it's real estate roadmap system.com. And this is our community we have, where you all can actually join us and just be a part of a community of over 500 investors. And you get tapped into our list of vendors, list of partners, our strategists, our actual curriculum, We like to pair our students together to do deals together, offer funding, all that. But this right here, we have payment plan options available for you. If you need to kind of chip away at it or whatever the case is, but this is our mentorship program that we offer. We have more free trainings coming up. I told you guys April 1st, we'll be live at the corner class on 320 Sunset Ave and Joseph E. Boone. We'll hold full class and lecture there. And we have more coming from the Black House as well. Any tax strategies, ceomylastname.com for your tax consultation. And again, for your real estate community, we have this. And if anyone's interested in any private coaching, private mentorship, I do very little of it, but here and there, open it up. You can see King Don behind the camera, or you guys on IG can DM me for any private coaching. It's high ticket, just so you know. If you're scared of paying for a mentor, paying for a coach, don't hit me. Like, I pay for mine. But if you want private, intimate, like Jay, look at my situation and help me get from here to here, then cool, we can do it. If you're willing to sow seed and invest in yourself, the same way I invest in myself. If you want something that's more group, that's more, less exclusive from that perspective, our community is super dope. We do live calls with our students every Monday. We have a Facebook group where we all interact. We have crazy resources for you. So those are the ways I can serve, help, and get you guys to the next level.
How do they get to your coaching? Is it do that or just Morrison coaching?
If you guys go to jmorrisoncoaching.com or shoot me a DM for the private coaching. Yep. Anybody else with questions in the room or find other?
I've been following you since 2012. I got a question.
Yeah.
Typically, when you have your real estate investment or either your income tax strategy classes that you host on YouTube, at any given point in time, do you communicate back and forth with us? Like, say for instance, I think I've communicated with you through YouTube. Someone gave me, from your YouTube page, someone gave me a WhatsApp phone number. And from there, I don't know if I was communicating with you or not. The person kept using the term brother. So from there, I assumed maybe it was you I was communicating with. But then that person went to asking me to invest $5,000 into a class.
Was not me.
Yeah.
It likely was not me. It likely was not me. And usually, I'm gonna say king, not even brother.
Yeah.
So you heard that? If I got the language wrong. But if you go through our own channels, to my own page, through our websites, it'd be a more secure way to actually connect. And King Don can help you today too if you want to actually exchange
I
information.
got you, brother. I got you now.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Before we adjourn, so my brother here, he goes by "That Boy Is So Funny," right? That boy funny. That boy funny. He was a comedian, super viral online, and skit maker. But he was coming out of the Black House one day after an event. He was like, "Oh, bro, what's with that credit stuff and that real estate stuff?" I'm like, "You serious?" And so he stayed on my line. We stayed in contact. But I want to just edify you and thank you. He helped inspire this class. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a class for you. You gonna pull up?
Good.
I'm gonna go live, allow everybody to come. But I wanted to give him a lesson and just give him an introduction into finance. So I wanted to get your feedback as to what you feel about today's class, being your first time actually at a live class with me.
Okay. I'm that way funny.
How do you want to do it?
Pretty much with the class, because coming from where I come from, I got blessed through God and all that, and I told him I was coming to his class, and I was trying to dictate if I should wear a suit or anything, but I said come as you are, because I'm a little wrinkled, but I tried to make it on time, and I see that he was on time. But furthermore, I started getting blessed with making more income and all that, so I'm just trying to understand the business. I'm getting older with the real estate, and because I'm like the one in my family that pretty much ain't doing made it to this far in life. So I'm just trying to learn with different things, and even in class I never really sat in the front, so I made sure I sat in the front today. And with the things you taught today, I see it's all about you're always gonna end up through real estate, because someone gonna always need someone to stay, whether I have kids, whether my kids have kids, if my kids have a dog, they need someone to stay. And that's why I appreciate you. And I feel like it's just the beginning, and from what you taught me is, it's free game. And I appreciate you for having people on live and all that. And for you guys, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you know, you're here. And I see you, you know, each one teach one. I'm young. We all young, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I got to keep coming back to more classes. He taught me some stuff with, you know, LLC, and as you learn, it's always more stuff to learn. And I thought I had it figured out with the LLC. Oh, I got me an LLC. I'm good. I'm walking around the neighborhood. Yeah, I got an LLC. Yeah, I got my LLC. But I see that it's more deeper, and it's like you got to learn. You got to keep learning from someone else, and I'm sure he also got to keep. You know, he learned from someone else as well. And you know, I'm learning.
God's love, man. I appreciate your word. So that's what we do it for, man. It's for us to be able to, you know, get back. Like you said, a lot of us, we are hitting some of the most successful grounds our family has ever seen.
Yeah.
Anybody in our family. So it's important for us to get this information so that we can break it back so that the next, they got a bigger head start than we got. And we can go deep there. Like we can go deep in the LLC game. You got holding companies, the corporate veil, and it go deep. So it's like, you know, so much for us to go, but it's important for us outside of just like doing things that entertain us to spend time, like we said, take it serious, sitting to the front and tapping in and really get the thing that's really gonna mean the most to us and to our families and our life, you know what I mean? So that's just great for you and leading by example. Because a lot of times, you know, we get some followers, a blue check, we got some influence, and then like I said, we start getting bougie. But that's actually a time for you to actually get the most in and dive the deepest. Because people watching you. So now his audience can see like, oh snap, like I started telling jokes, like bro, really in a class tapped in. And you don't know who that's inspiring in the next generation. Right? And people always say, oh, you young black men don't never doing nothing. Nah. You can't say that. It's a narrative that they created. So we recreate a narrative and we raise the standard in our community. We raise that standard, everything else, they do what it do. Or appreciate you though, bro. Love.
One day I'm gonna be in front talking to the class. And have my suit on.
Hey, how your suit on?
Yeah.
No, that's love. All right, so any last questions we got out of here, man? I know we went in today. And usually I start with like, you know, more basic game, but today was just on my mind. It's income tax season, a lot going on. I wanted to kind of cover a high level game. We'll do some stuff from the beginning. So the corner class is gonna be like Foundation 101. So April 1st, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna be live streaming as well, IG. But get here to Atlanta if you can. We're gonna be on the corner outside live, 320 Sunset Boulevard, Joseph E. Boone. Go to cornerclasstour.com, right? Cornerclasstour.com to get details on that. So anyway, family, if that's all the questions, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all got value out of this. Thanks for your time. We'll be back doing more of these pop-ups here at the Legacy Center and around the city. Giving back, raising standards in our community. Thanks to my team for supporting and you know, pulling up. And just give a round of applause for yourselves. Well, you know, all right, man. So we out. Good night.